In the enchanting city of Nanjing, China, resides the brilliant little prodigy May. Forget calculators. She effortlessly crunches mind-bending math problems and has a memory that's practically a steel trap for numbers. But hold on to your calculators, because May's life takes a thrilling turn. Picture this. May's having a casual stroll with her pals, minding her own business, when a bunch of geniuses decides to spice up her day and abduct her. Enter Han, the Chinese mafia maestro, who's got a knack for getting his hands on digital data. He dreams of turning May into his own walking, talking computer, the kind that memorizes sensitive criminal info with a smile. At first, May's all, "No way, Jose." But then Han pulls out the ultimate trump card, the classic threat to kill her mom. Suddenly, May's all ears and agrees to be Han's criminal cabulator. Now under the loving care of Chang, a stand-up guy in their gang, May finds herself in the Big Apple, posing as his beloved daughter. Meanwhile, in the wild world of New Jersey, Luke, a former cop and cage fighter extraordinaire, is caught up in a rigged match. Supposed to lose, he accidentally knocks out his opponent into a coma, upsetting the Russian mafia honcho, Emil. Why? Because Emil bet big bucks on Luke's loss, and now he's ready to send his goons after him. Knowing that an enraged mobster is bad news for the family, Luke dashes home. But alas, he's too late, and Vasily, the mobster's son, has already done the unthinkable, taken out Luke's pregnant wife. Heartbroken, Luke, despite his fighting skills, chooses not to hit back. Now, the mobsters promise to off anyone Luke breathes near. With nowhere else to turn, Luke heads back to the good old New York, choosing the glamorous life of a homeless wanderer. A year later, May's still doing the gang's bidding, strolling through Chinatown, memorizing store profits and losses. She's become the gang's financial oracle, calculating the cash flow with an elementary schooler's charm. On the flip side of luck, Luke's dwelling in a top-notch homeless shelter. Sarcasm intended. One night, he decides to play the Good Samaritan, generously donating his shoes to a poor soul with infected feet. Surprise, surprise. The next day, the recipient has not only lost his shoes, but also his life. Plot twist alert. In the middle of the night, a lady from Chang's gang breaks the news to May. Her mom's 6 feet under. Turns out, Mama May was in a sorry state back in China. The next day, the big cheese himself, Han, makes a rare visit to New York. Armed with a mysterious set of numbers, he tasks May with memorizing them in the blink of an eye. The digits are so confidential that Han turns the paper to ashes, leaving May as the sole keeper of the numerical secret. How thrilling! The saga continues with our dear May, the human calculator extraordinaire. Chang, her trusted gang buddy, decides it's time for another thrilling field trip. Destination unknown. But wait for it. May's got to memorize yet another set of numbers. Because why not make the poor kid do some mental gymnastics on the go? But oh no, here comes the Russian mafia, led by the charming Emil, the same gangster who decided it was cool to off Luke's wife. They've got a bone to pick with May too, because apparently her math skills are in high demand. A classic shootout unfolds, and surprise, surprise, the Chinese gangsters take a beating, and May gets an unsolicited ride with the Russians. Talk about a day in the life of a math genius. Meanwhile, our buddy Luke is having the time of his life. Some wise guy swipes his breakfast money, leaving Luke to fend for himself. As if that's not enough, he stumbles upon his former cop colleague, the ones he exposed for their not-so-lawful dealings. Yeah, those guys. They decide a little reunion is in order, in a charming abandoned building. Old grievances? Check. Beatings and insults? Double check. Oh, and just for kicks, they hand Luke a gun and suggest he end his own show. But of course, Luke's too cool for that. He walks away like the boss he is. Meanwhile, back in the land of math intrigue, May finds herself face to face with Emil, the Russian big shot. Surprise, surprise again. The lady who spilled the beans about May's mom was Team Emil all along. Emil, ever the curious gangster, wants May to spill the numerical beans. But May, our little genius, decides she's not giving away her mental gems. She even predicts the demise of the lady Blabbermouth, who gets a taste of the lead buffet from the men in suits. May, savvy as ever, keep her lips sealed because, well, she's not a math giveaway. Enter Captain Wolf, the corrupt cop with a not-so-shiny past. He waltzes into Emil's lair, not for justice, but on the paycheck of the Chinese leader Han. Money talks, and Captain Wolf accepts the discreet bribe, leaving Emil to his criminal escapades. Meanwhile, May, with her disappearing act, gives both gangs a run for their money. Literally. Cut to the subway station, where Luke is pondering life's mysteries on the tracks. Just when he's about to take the leap into existential oblivion, May pops up, scared and all. And guess what? The gangsters who made Luke's life a living nightmare are hot on her tiny heels. Quick thinking, May hops on the subway. But the gangsters are relentless, playing the world's weirdest game of hide-and-seek. Luke, ever the hero in his own low-key way, hops on the subway too, annihilating the Russian baddies left and right. They're shocked. This is the same dude they thought was a pushover a year ago. Surprise, surprise for them. Luke's got some moves. In the end, after a chaotic ballet of bullets, Luke and May finally meet. Cue the heartwarming reunion. Or as heartwarming as it gets in this crazy math meets mafia tale. Oh, the joys of a New York subway adventure. May, the math wizard, bolts out like a lightning flash as soon as the subway stops, assuming our dear Luke is just another bad guy in the concrete jungle. Classic mix-up, right? As our not-so-innocent bystander Luke attempts to track down May, he conveniently eavesdrops on a red alert code, broadcasted to every cop in town. Turns out, May isn't just a math genius, she's also on the wish list of our friendly neighborhood corrupt policeman. Because what's better than delivering a defenseless kid to the mafia? Oh, but wait! Luke, who's been playing the silent hero, swoops in right on time as two of his former cop pals, the ones who had a grand time beating him up earlier, decide to make May their personal luggage. Surprise, surprise. Luke suddenly becomes the action hero, knocking them out like it's just another walk in the park. May, though, still skeptical, reluctantly hops into a car with Luke just as the Russian mafia joins the party. And guess what? We've got ourselves a high-speed car chase through the bustling streets of Manhattan. Because why not? Finally, Luke kills all the Russians, grabs their wallets, because souvenir hunting is a must, and sets up camp in a fancy hotel. Talk about a night on the town. Meanwhile, back in the land of corrupt cops, Captain Oblivious discovers that May wasn't abducted by the mafia after all. It was Luke, the prodigal troublemaker. He's shocked, thinking, "Oh, Luke, I thought he was just out here chasing butterflies since he left the police force." Spoiler alert, Luke's been up to a bit more than butterfly chasing. In their swanky hotel hideout, May finally decides to spill the numerical beans to Luke. Turns out, those mysterious numbers are the combo to a safe, and there's not one but two of them floating around. The plot thickens, and it smells like a lucrative deal, probably involving the Chinese mafia. Oh, the drama. Just when things are getting cozy, Chang and his goons, armed with a convenient tracking device, crash the hotel party. Cue the shootout, chaos, and people running for dear life. Luke dives into a brawl with the gangsters, because who doesn't love a good fistfight in a hotel lobby? But alas, the dynamic duo is forcibly separated, with Chang getting his hands on May while Luke pulls a great escape. Fear not, though, because Luke's not leaving his little math sidekick behind. So, he pulls a genius move. He rings up Vasily, the fella who took out Luke's wife a year ago. Pretending to be a fellow gang member, Luke lures Vasily to a casino, because negotiations over a cup of tea are so last season. Meanwhile, the city's mayor is having a cozy chat with the corrupt police captain. Surprise? They're all corrupt. The mayor, the captain, and even the mayor's boyfriend, Alex. Turns out, Luke wasn't just a run-of-the-mill cop. He was a CIA agent on loan, doing some undercover justice after 9/11. But oh my, Luke exposed the captain's shady dealings, and now the captain's realizing he's dealing with a seriously dangerous ex-CIA dude. As the mayor gets wind of May and Luke's partnership, he suddenly gets all fidgety. It's almost as if he knows a thing or two about those safes and their mysterious combinations. What a shocker. The corrupt mayor might be hiding a few secrets up his designer sleeves. Ah, the thrilling drama unfolds as May is graciously returned to the head honcho, Han, who's itching to know if she spilled the secret combo. May, the little genius, spins a tale, claiming she played the "I don't understand English" card like a pro. Chang, the ever-loyal gang sidekick, gives Alex a buzz, updating him on the delightful news that they've got the girl. Time to resume the shifty meeting. Plot twist alert. Turns out, the Chinese mafia's business buddies are none other than the honorable mayor and his partner in crime, Alex. What a quaint exchange. The unknown contents of their safes up for grabs. Now, enter our hero, Luke, making his grand entrance at the casino, ambushing Vasily and his henchmen like a real party crasher. He decides to use Vasily as his golden ticket to Emil, the Russian leader. Negotiations 101. Luke calls Emil, making him spill the beans on the safe content in exchange for his dear son's life. Drama unfolds. $30 million for the Chinese. And the mayor's safe holds something supposedly worth that hefty sum. The trade game was disrupted once by those pesky Russians. But now that May's back in the Chinese mafia's clutches, it's back to business as usual. Chang, the trusty sidekick, struts over to Alex to trade codes like they're swapping baseball cards. But, oh no, our dear Luke needs to act fast if he wants to be the hero in this twisted tale. He hatches a brilliant plan: get the 30 million from the Chinese mafia's safe hidden deep in Chinatown. But, oh snap, it's guarded by the most terrifying gangsters in the block. Enter the former cop colleagues. They're in it for the money, naturally. A shootout ensues, lives are lost, and, surprise surprise, Luke betrays his fellow cops. Bad fellow cops, to be precise, leaving only the captain and Vasily alive, but held hostage. With the money pocketed, Luke takes a leisurely stroll to the mayor's office. On the way, he casually rings up Alex, demanding to know the contents of the second safe, because when you have the money, you make the calls. Alex, stuck between a rock and a hard place, spills the beans. It's a disc with data on every crime syndicate in New York. The mayor's grand plan: sell it to the Chinese, take the 30 million, and let the gangs sort out their own mess. Clever, right? Luke, now armed with the juicy info, pays the mayor a visit. No surprise here. The mayor is less than thrilled, but hands over the golden disc. Luke, being the courteous guy he is, knocks the mayor out and heads off to meet Alex, like the good old rendezvous promise. The saga continues, with May in tow, as Alex follows orders, killing Chang and his henchmen in the process. Oh, the grand finale. Because nothing says resolution like a classic exchange of money, information, and a dash of violence. Luke, now the self-proclaimed kingpin with cash and secrets in hand, is ready to take a bow. But wait, here comes Alex, the wild card, armed with the most special accessory of the season, May. It's like a messed up game of Pokemon, but with people. In the highly anticipated showdown, instead of a peaceful negotiation, Luke, the master of diplomacy, suggests settling things with a good old-fashioned brawl. Classy, right? Oh, the plot thickens. May, clearly tired of the drama, decides to spice things up by shooting Alex in the leg. Seizing the golden opportunity, Luke effortlessly takes him down. Another day, another adversary conquered. With May and the loot finally in the clear, Luke, in a gesture of goodwill, or maybe just for kicks, sets the captain free, generously handing him 50 grand for his troubles. And Vasily? He gets a ticket to freedom, courtesy of Luke, because who needs Russian mobsters on their tail? Next on the gratitude tour is Han, the Chinese mafia leader, who got his money and May swiped from right under his nose. To ensure a peaceful retirement for Han, Luke graciously sends him the remaining cash. Because, it's all about maintaining those healthy relationships. But wait, there's more. Luke, the ultimate strategist, scatters copies of the oh-so-special data disk throughout the city. Just in case someone decides to rain on their parade, they've got a nifty little tool for some good old-fashioned blackmail. Because who needs enemies when you can have powerful friends? In the grand finale, May and Luke cruise off to Seattle, leaving behind the chaos of their previous lives. Because what better place to start a new chapter than the land of rain and coffee?